Alright guys, just a quick update. Managed to source all the parts, so we're just waiting for it to arrive. Yeah, so while we're at it, nice day, might as well make the most of it. Let's put in this Kiggly Racing oil pressure regulator for the head. So it pretty much sits here. So we gotta take out the rocker cover, the timing cover, all these hoses and brackets back here, and then probably the cores also. So let's do it. Alright, so we just took off the rocker cover. So there's the oil pressure head regulator. So that's the OEM one. So that's the new one that we're gonna put in. So pretty much just 1, 2, 3, 10 mils, and it can lift up. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to be careful not to lose anything. Hopefully I don't drop anything in the head. So 1, 2, okay, 3. Stay. Alright, so we're just going to lift it off, and that is pretty much it. Just get a rag. Wipe it down, give it a nice clean up. Alright guys, so pretty much this is the bit that you need to cover. So the kit comes with a blanking plate. So pretty much each one of these holes is a oil gallery, oil supply. So you can see that it just sits like that. Like that, and then you get your Kiggly regulator, and you just sit that on top. So each one of these holes here goes to one section of the regulator here, 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 and here. And I'm guessing it moves this plunger back and forth. So pretty much sits like that. So we're gonna go ahead now, bolt this up. 8 foot-pounds it says, so not too much. And this just regulates how much oil goes into the head and keeps most of the oil down at the block where you want it. Alright, so that's the Kiggly Racing oil regulator for the head put in. So I've gone ahead and scraped off this old sealer that was on the corner here, which we're going to put sealer right on the corner there, because I find sometimes that it doesn't seal properly and you need to fill that little gap here. So I'm going to put a dab there, on this side here too, at the back. I'm going to put one here and here, and maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit back here, because this has a little gap here too, so I might put something back here. And then I'm gonna use the my old rocker cover gasket, just because I know that it's still brand new and it hasn't gone flat. So if it goes flat here, then that means it's pretty old, but this is only about 2 years old, so I'm gonna reuse that, which hopefully she should be good to go. Alright, so I've ran a little bit of a half moon on there, on the cam ones. A little bit of half moon here, and I've done this little section here because it's actually got two little cutouts. So, alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put the rocker cover on. Alright guys, so the Kiggly head oil pressure regulator is in. As you saw, a pretty simple job. Yeah, the only thing that I'm a bit worried about is the using the original gasket and that little bead of sealer that I put in just to stop it from potentially leaking. But we'll know soon enough once we put engine oil in, and we'll get it up to temperature and we'll see if it leaks. Alright guys, so we managed to get the fittings for the new turbo drain. So this is ProFlow fittings from VPW in Melbourne. So I just took it out of the packaging, pretty much just gave him the pipe and said I need to make this, and he gave me all the fittings. So I got a 1 meter braided line and I just cut it to suit, put all the adapters in, put a bit of thread sealer, and that is it. So we're gonna go ahead now and try and fit it onto the Evo and see how it goes. Alright guys, after a couple of hours of mucking around, I finally got the turbo drain in. So the one that I showed you that I made didn't actually fit, so I had to quickly run to the parts shop and grab a couple more fittings. So I got an L one, and I got a 60 degrees. So previously I was running this 45, which the angle was just, yeah, the angle was just too wrong. So I'm currently using a 60 degree one now, so the angle's a little bit better, so just shoot straight up there. Really fiddly, there's a little bit of a kink, but yeah, that's all I could do. I've tried so many different combinations, and yeah, that's all I could do, so should be alright.
So we'll know once we put oil in, see if it leaks or not. Yeah, that's the best I can do. I've mucked around with this for so long, and this is all I can think of. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead. I took off the turbo inlet, so I'm gonna put that back on, and then I'm gonna box everything up, and then we'll put oil in it, and we'll see if it leaks or not. Alright, so time to throw on the exhaust. So I've got some of this exhaust paste here, which I'm going to put back there because I don't have a new gasket. And then just put the bolts on. Alright guys, the exhaust is on, tight. I'm just going to double check all the fittings, make sure it's all good. And then I'm going to put oil in it, and then we're going to see if it leaks, hope not. Alright guys, so time to put the oil in. So because I've done a whole ton of fluid work, oil work, I'm going to use this 530 oil that I got lying around. I know it says diesel engine oil, but yeah, I don't want to throw in expensive stuff and then I've got to drop the sump and everything again. So I have this lying around. It's around about 4 liters, should be enough just to test everything and make sure everything's okay. And then I'm going to throw in the expensive stuff for the track day. Right, so I've just put about 4 and a bit of engine oil in. So I had a quick look and nothing is leaking so far underneath. So just time to hook up the battery and then we are good to go. So I'm just gonna put another the stock oil pan here in case that fitting decides to bloody leak. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna disconnect the crank position sensor, just because it's a new pickup. I don't want it to run straight away and starve a little bit, so I'll just crank it a bit. Alright, just give it a bit of a crank. So we'll have a look and see if we're leaking any oil under here. Got a bit of oil pressure now. So far so good. Alright, I'm gonna start her up. Alright, so we're good to go at the moment. A lot of mucking around. Fittings. Sealing, resealing, refitting. Right, here we go.
just took the car around the block, stopped every now and then to check, make sure there's no oil leaks, and it is all good. So I'm going to drop the oil now, and today I'm going to be using, like I told you, the good stuff, Castrol Edge. I'm going to be trying 10W60 with a genuine Mitsubishi oil filter. So we got the container there with a bit of you know, plastic sheeting or garbage bag, just so you get any excess droppage, because you don't want it all over the garage floor. So as you can see, it ain't leaking, so I'm pretty happy. So I'm just gonna go ahead now and drop this oil. It's gonna be bloody hot. Alright, we're just gonna let that drain. So we're gonna go ahead and take the oil filter off now. Alright guys, so sump plugs in, new oil filters in, time to put the expensive Castrol Edge 10W60 in. Haven't used it before, but we're going to see how it goes with the track day and the E85. So this motor here, it says 4.8 litres, and then we're going to, because we changed the sump, we're going to add another 1.4 litres, so around about 6.2 litres now. So this is only a 5 litre, so I'm gonna have to go and get another little bottle. Alright guys, so I just put the engine oil in, I just started it up and I ran it for a little bit. Just checked the engine oil and it's sitting just under max. So yeah, I've got to put another litre in. So it should be around about 6.2 litres with the aftermarket sump. So I don't know if this dipstick, OEM dipstick, works with the aftermarket sump, but I know I did my calculations. Yeah, and it should be around about 6.2 litres. So I might just duck off and go get a 1 litre bottle and top it up. So pretty fiddly job. Weren't too many videos on YouTube on how to do a morosso sump, so I had to find out the hard way. They made it look pretty easy, but it was kind of really fiddly, especially the turbo oil drain. So I couldn't get the right angle. I couldn't get this to bend right, so I had to go and muck around with bloody around about $200 of fitting and braided steel line to get that working. And what also is that I don't tell you is there's a bolt. There's that bolt right underneath that crank, so that does not stop. So don't put a stud all the way through, because you're going to touch that timing belt, you're going to tear up the timing belt. So this one here goes straight through into the timing belt. So you're going to measure the length and make sure you don't go too far in, or else you're going to damage the timing belt. This little plate here between the sump and the gearbox, that's going to have to be grinded, or you're going to have to bend it a little bit to get a better angle into that area when you put the sump on, because you're gonna have to angle it in, because the pickup is there too, so you're gonna have to go up and then straight like that. The fitting for the turbo drain, it sometimes leaks because there's just too much play. I don't know if you need a washer with a seal,
I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it started leaking from the threads. This thing these studs just rattle loose. So I just put a shitload of bloody of sealer in there to stop that from leaking. Also, I'll just have to take the whole thing out again and weld a bung, which I don't want to do because it was so expensive. Even the sealer was like $30, you know, just for the sealer. So yeah, that is a bit of a design flaw, I reckon, those studs. So next time if I do one, or if I actually take this sump back out, I'm gonna weld a bung onto there and make a proper line. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. It was a way bigger job than I thought. That's just the thing that happens with you know, custom stuff, custom sumps, custom manifolds. Yeah, they don't always fit properly. So yeah, that's it for this video. I just received my toe strap, which I'm super excited about. So I'm not going to do that today because I just don't have time. So I might have to take the front bar off, but that's for next video. So if you want to see that, like and subscribe, tell all your mates, and I'll see you guys at the next video.